Hey, language legends! Let's kick things off with a deeply scientific truth bomb. Winging a CI lesson is like trying to cook paella with one shrimp, a carrot, and no pan. Is it technically possible? I guess. Will it be edible? Only if you're feeding it to raccoons. Look, we've all been there. You crack open your planner, stare into the abyss, and finally scribble. Talk about food. And then you just pray that a lesson magically appears somewhere between the bell and your caffeine crash. Spoiler alert, it never does. Instead, what does show up is Jorge in the back row pretending to be a taco. Someone randomly yells, "Yo tengo un gato," because they remember exactly one Spanish phrase from last semester. And you? You're trying to smile through the chaos while regretting every decision that led you to this moment, especially saying yes to 8th period. But don't worry, today I'm handing you the antidote to the CI struggle bus. It's simple, it's effective, and it saved my tail more times than I can count. It's called the CI lesson formula, and it's just 3 parts: input, interaction, and output. That's it. No gimmicks, no blackline masters, no desperate sacrifices to the laminator gods during your lunch break. Just a flexible, go-to structure you can use every single day to plan quickly, teach confidently, and actually enjoy your class again. Wild concept, I know. Stick with me and I'll walk you through exactly how to use it. Plus, I'll throw in real examples, favorite hacks, and embarrassing moments I've survived so you don't have to. Let's go. And yes, Jorge makes a comeback. All right, let's dive into step 1. Input. The lifeblood of your CI lesson, and also the part where many teachers accidentally become motivational speakers for invisible audiences. Let's set this record straight. This is your moment. You're the magnificent, slightly caffeinated narrator of this wild classroom novella. You've got a marker in one hand, an emergency snack in the other, and zero intention of lecturing like you're auditioning for Spanish Shakespeare in the Park. Because here's the deal. Input is not code for talk until their souls leave their bodies. Input means giving your students understandable, compelling, level-appropriate language in the target language, in a way that makes them forget they're in school. So how do you actually do that without watching their eyeballs glaze over like donuts in the first 5 minutes? 3 words: structure, sass, and strategy. Let me break it down for you. Strategy 1, the 90-second story starter. This is your opener, your hook, your first date with the lesson. And yes, you've got 90 seconds, not 9 minutes. If you talk for more than 90 seconds straight without involving your students, they will start planning their escape. I promise. So here's what you do. You launch with a ridiculously simple story intro. Watch this. Hay un chico. El chico tiene hambre. El chico quiere tacos. Boom. That's it. 3 sentences. And now every student is thinking, wait, is this story about me? Am I the taco boy? You've just dropped them into a narrative. The stakes are low, the verbs are high frequency, and you've created curiosity out of literally nothing. That's the magic of the 90-second story. It sets the tone, it activates prior knowledge, and it tells their brains, hey, pay attention, this is about tacos and that matters. Pro tip. Don't try to get cute and overcomplicate it. Stick to 3 to 5 super common verbs. Make your characters slightly tragic or deeply weird. Hungry kids, lost goats, lonely burritos, whatever gets them interested. Because if you start with something like El chico estudia para el examen de química, guess what? No one cares, not even the chico. Strategy 2, visual anchor. All right, now that you've got your story seed, time to anchor it with a visual. Notice I didn't say PowerPoint. I didn't say bring in a full slideshow with embedded video and transitions. I said one solid visual. That's all you need to keep your students locked in like they're binge watching a telenovela. Some options include a goofy stock photo that somehow exists on the internet, like a cat wearing sunglasses eating a burrito. A stick figure you scribble on the whiteboard with wild energy. A card from your fly swatter game set. Yes, that was a plug. No shame. The visual doesn't need to be beautiful. It just needs to support comprehension. If your boy who wants tacos looks like a potato with arms, congrats, you just made him memorable. Here's the golden rule. If it sparks a laugh, a gasp, or a wait, what even is that? It's working. Please don't pull out a hyper-realistic painting of a 17th century meal. Save that for your next unit on Spanish Baroque lifestyles. This is Taco Boy's time to shine. Strategy 3, repetition. But make it fashion now that your story is launched and visually locked in. It's time to loop it back and make it stick. Repetition, my friends. Repetition is your secret weapon. But not the kind that puts people to sleep like El Chico quiere tacos. El Chico quiere tacos. El Chico quiere tacos. No. We're going for repetition with flavor, with flair, with full telenovela level drama. Let me show you. El Chico quiere pizza. No. ¿Quiere una ensalada? No. ¿Quiere tacos? Sí. Then you circle it, you flip it, you exaggerate it like your coffee just hit at the exact moment your class got interesting. Add wild gestures, use your voice, whisper the sentence like it's a secret. Yell it like Oprah giving away tacos, throw in one eyebrow raise for dramatic effect, or both eyebrows if it's a plot twist. You're not just repeating, you're storytelling like a boss. You're embedding language so deep in their minds that they're going to mutter in their sleep like a prophetic taco chant. By the end of this input phase, your students should know the main character and what they want, feel emotionally connected to the character's bizarre journey, and be accidentally acquiring language like it's free guac at Chipotle. Now, before we move on to the next phase, here's the takeaway. The input phase is not about performance. It's about clarity. It's about building the foundation of a story world your students want to live in, even if it makes absolutely no sense. So give them the language, give them a reason to care, and make them laugh while you do it. All right, ready to make them talk back? In the target language, of course, not just to tell you their cat also likes tacos. Let's head to interaction. And trust me, it gets even weirder. All right, now that we've fed their brains with delicious comprehensible input, it's time to hand them the spatula and let them cook. Welcome to interaction, the meat and potatoes of comprehensible input. This is where your students stop silently absorbing and start doing something with the language. Also known as the glorious moment they transform from quiet observers into semi-confident language-spewing geniuses. Or at least hilariously enthusiastic beginners who are trying, and that's all we want. Now here's the truth bomb. When this part is done right, class doesn't feel like class anymore. It feels like the improv night at a multilingual comedy club, just with slightly more teenagers and fewer 2-drink minimums. So how do you keep them engaged, using the language, and not eating their folders or making TikToks under their desks? Let's go through 3 dead simple, high engagement strategies that work every time. First, the quick draw challenge. This one is so good, it feels illegal. Here's what you do. You describe what happens next in the story, and they draw it. That's it. No speaking, no translating, just listen and sketch. Example, El Chico va a Taco Bell. El Chico compra 12 tacos. El Chico ve un perro en el baño. Yes, he does. And you're walking around like the host of a ridiculous art show at a museum with 0 standards. Now they hold up their masterpieces, and you react like you're standing in front of the Mona Lisa with a Diet Coke in your hand. Increíble. Horrible. Ese taco parece un gato con gafas de sol. Me encanta. And guess what? That moment of laughter, that's language acquisition hiding inside a punchline. You're reinforcing comprehension and building classroom culture at the same time. Bonus, even your quietest kids participate because drawing doesn't feel risky. Even if what they draw looks like it was done by a raccoon with a marker between its toes, they're in. Next, the yes-no blitz. This one is quick, high energy, and borderline absurd. In the best way. You rapid fire yes-no questions about the story. But here's the trick. Make them ridiculous. El chico tiene un dragón? Los tacos tienen ojos? El chico quiere hablar con los tacos? The entire class shouts back, no! Or every now and then you hit them with a twist and yell, sí, like you're giving out a car on Oprah. The whole room erupts. They're yelling in the target language. They're processing and responding in real time. They don't even notice they're reinforcing the story. They think they're just having fun. And let's be honest, there's nothing more magical than 32 students simultaneously screaming, no, the tacos don't have eyes, like it's the most obvious fact in the world. It's chaotic, it's glorious, it's comprehensible interaction on steroids. And lastly, personalized questions with a twist. This is where we take the story world and toss your students into it like it's a VR headset. Now I'm not talking about asking deep, soul-searching questions like, ¿Qué opinas de la filosofía de Taco Bell? Nope. We're keeping it light, fast, and funny, but personal. Take your story and aim the spotlight at them. ¿Tú quieres 12 tacos? ¿Vas a Taco Bell con tu perro? ¿Tienes hambre ahora mismo? ¿O solo existes en un estado perpetual de snack desire? The twist? They get to be part of the story, but it's still in bounds. You're not wandering off into what did you do this summer territory. You're still in the taco universe, but now they're in it too. And when Jorge says, sí, tengo 12 tacos en mi mochila, you get to pretend to call security and have a class-wide laugh fest. While every single student just got multiple reps of a high-frequency structures without breaking a sweat. Why does this work? Also known as the secret sauce? Here's the magic. Interaction equals ownership. Ownership equals confidence, and confidence equals output. When students get to interact with content they understand, they go from I don't know how to say anything to watch me say 7 things in Spanish with a fake accent and extreme taco-based enthusiasm. And that confidence boost, that's what keeps them coming back day after day, willing to take risks. They're not memorizing vocabulary. They're playing with the language and making it theirs. And you, my friend, are no longer dragging them through a lesson. They're dragging you through it because they want to know what happens next. So if the input phase is about giving them the story, the interaction phase is about letting them toss it around like a beach ball at a party. They're engaging, they're comprehending, they're yelling about bathroom dogs and haunted tacos, and somehow they're actually learning language in the process. Beautiful, isn't it? All right, buckle up, because next we move into the part that scares most people the most. Output. But don't worry, I'll show you how to make it painless and even kind of fun. Let's go. All right, breathe in, breathe out. We've arrived at the phase that strikes fear into the hearts of even the bravest teachers. Output. Yes, the moment when your students actually speak or write in the target language. Cue the dramatic music. Cue the sweating. Cue the internal panic of, do I need to grade this? But before you spiral, let's clear something up. CI output is not supposed to be scary. It's not about perfection. It's not about paragraphs. And it's absolutely not the moment to announce, ahora escribe una novela sobre tus emociones profundas en el pretérito pluscuamperfecto. No. Please no. We are not traumatizing children today. We are creating confident communicators. So here's how we do output the CI way: short, structured, safe, and if possible, just a little bit ridiculous. Let me show you 3 easy, effective strategies that make output fun, non-threatening, and yes, even hilarious. First, the 1-minute quick write. You want a fast, zero prep, low stress way to get students writing? Welcome to your new favorite tool, the 1-minute quick write. Here's how it works. You set a timer for 1 minute, not 5, not 10, 1. Then you toss out a simple sentence starter like hay un chico, el chico tiene, el chico va a, and you tell them, finish the story. You have 60 seconds. Go. And the magic, it works. Some students will write 5 full sentences about Taco Boy and his emotional journey to Taco Bell. Others will write chico tiene hambre, chico quiere taco, chico come, fin. And honestly, both are a win. They're producing language, they're building fluency, and they're doing it without the fear of getting it wrong. Also, hot tip: do not collect it, don't grade it, don't even read it unless they want to show you. This isn't for you, it's for them, to build confidence and reinforce the language they just heard. Second, an emoji retell. This is one of those activities that works for every level and feels like it came straight off social media, but with actual pedagogical value. You give your students 3 emojis that represent key moments from the story. That's it. Their job? Write or say 1 sentence in the target language for each emoji. Let's say your emojis are a hamburger, a dog, and a bathroom. You might get el chico quiere comer. Hay un perro en el restaurante. El chico va al baño y ve al perro. And now, boom, output. It's quick, it's structured, it even's kind of funny. And it gives students a roadmap to retell the story without the panic of starting from scratch. Plus, bonus points if your emojis are completely absurd. Add a unicorn, add a toilet paper roll, add an alien. Your students will rise to the occasion and try to explain why the dog is friends with the hamburger and lives in the bathroom. Spoiler, that's where the real language learning happens. And finally, the exit sentence with a twist. Let's wrap it up with one of my favorite CI party tricks, the exit sentence. At the end of class, pick 1 student to say a sentence from the story. Simple, right? But here's the twist. They have to say it in a ridiculous voice. I'm talking robot voice, opera singer voice, pirate voice, Darth Vader voice with seasonal allergies. So when your student announces El Chico quiere tacos in full pirate voice while holding a fake sword made of markers, you've just created a moment that's going to live rent-free in everyone's brain and reinforce the language in a way no worksheet ever could. Laughter equals engagement. Engagement equals acquisition. That's CI math, baby. Even better, you've just bookended the class with input at the start, interaction in the middle, and joyful output at the end. They leave class feeling like rock stars who can actually use the language, and they don't even realize you tricked them into it. Here's some real talk. What output is not? Let's be super clear about something. Output is not about grammatical accuracy. It's not about perfect pronunciation. And it's definitely not about paragraph length perfection. It's about confidence. It's about helping students feel successful using what they understand. It's about short reps that build toward fluency. Because when students are ready to talk, they will. And until then, you're building the foundation. You're inviting them in. You're saying, hey, look how much you already know and what you can do with it. And that, my friend, is how you make CI output feel like a celebration, not a sentencing. So to wrap it up, 1 minute right, emoji retell, dramatic exit sentence. Suddenly, output isn't a beast to battle, it's a highlight of your day. All right, coming up next, I've got a mid-roll that will help you find your CI spirit animal and a quick recap to bring it all home. Let's keep this train rolling. You've got this. Ready to actually enjoy back to school season? Yeah, I said it. If your idea of back to school prep involves panic printing syllabus copies at 7:43 a.m. while crying into your coffee, we've got you. Join the Back to School Bootcamp, your CI-friendly survival kit for launching the year like a boss, without sacrificing your sanity or your weekends. We're talking stress-free classroom setup tips, easy, high-impact first-week plans, management strategies that don't kill the CI vibe, the confidence to walk into day one without Googling, what is CI again? It's all inside this 10-part on-demand series. And yes, you can watch in pajamas while pretending to set up your bulletin board. Head to mm.us/bootcamp before your summer brain fully melts. No cutesy chalkboard signs required. Just real strategies for real teachers. See you in the bootcamp. Okay, let's take a step back. Deep breath. Stretch your neck. Unclench your jaw. You made it. Let's zoom out for a second and look at what we just built together. Input leads to interaction, which leads to output. That's it. 3 steps, 1 story. And suddenly, you've got an entire class of humans who are engaged, laughing, and understanding language, and genuinely wondering if Taco Bell delivers to dogs. They don't. I checked. Here's the big truth. When you follow this structure, your CI lesson practically runs itself. It's like teaching on autopilot, but with the kind where you're still in control and not a sad robot printing out worksheets at 7:59 a.m. No more reinventing the wheel. No more staring at your planner like you personally betrayed you. No more, please Google, give me a miracle warm-up at the start of second period. This 3-step formula, input, interaction, output, saves you time so you can actually finish your coffee, energy so you don't collapse during 6th period, and sanity, especially when your school schedules an assembly, a surprise fire drill, and a full moon all on the same day, which feels personal, honestly. So if you're tired of chaos and craving consistency, this is your move. But what if you're ready to take it one step further? What if you want to actually connect this whole structure to real growth and student data without turning into a rubric-obsessed zombie, dragging a clipboard around your classroom? Then your next stop is right here. Master the perfect balance, formative and summative assessments made simple. Watch it now. It's your secret weapon for tracking what actually matters, student progress, without sacrificing your soul to endless grading. And yes, I'll help you avoid turning feedback into spreadsheet purgatory. Now I want to hear from you. Let's get nerdy in the comments. Tell me, what's your go-to CI routine that just works? What's the most ridiculous story your class has ever latched onto? Mine involved a llama, a haunted churro, and a surprisingly emotional karaoke scene. And what's your all-time greatest, oh no, I forgot to plan moment? Seriously, I want your chaos, your realness, your taco-themed tragedies. Let's build a CI community that is honest, hilarious, and helpful to every teacher trying to survive and thrive in the target language. If this video gave you a laugh, an idea, or finally someone gets it moment, smash that like button. Tap subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with your favorite taco-loving, language-teaching, occasionally chaotic colleague. Thanks for watching, thanks for teaching, and thanks for being the kind of teacher who's willing to try something different. Now go forth, input warrior, and may your stories be weird, your verbs be high frequency, and your students never ever draw tacos with legs again. See you in the next video. Happy comprehensible input.